And I had a huge download about darkness. Last night I watched DUNE 2, and my higher self was asking me today what I learned from it. The first thing that I noticed was that I have a strong aversion to spiritual and religious control, and yet I'm drawn to that as a theme in my life. I felt a deep judgment towards the story, generally speaking, because of its portrayal of spiritual feminine and sisterhood being only betrayed in the dark feminine. And that is when I saw it. What I understand now is that this theme, the greatly feared and misunderstood dark feminine archetype, and specifically the way in which it's being portrayed in this movie. The theme is the fear of feminine sisterhood, magic, and spiritual power. This movie encapsulates our entire history and legacy of the masculine, fearing and subsequently demonizing the power of feminine magnetism, of feminine sight, vision, psychic intuition, self-knowing, and the ability to commune with the spirit realms. All of our thousands and thousands of years of patriarchy is because of this fear, this wound. And the character of Paul Atreides is a projection of the masculine's desire to control and embody its feminine power, both unifying the masculine power and the feminine power within, which is personified into this archetype of this character. And the truth is that we need to bring our fear collectively of the dark feminine out of the proverbial skeleton closet. The truth is, the darkness we fear is not outside of us, but within. And when we truly understand the role of darkness in our lives and alchemize and integrate our dark feminine aspects, we will be a species who walks once again in the full power of the light of the Holy Spirit. What I observed watching this movie was that the fear and the darkness serves the whole by being a catalyst for our transformation. The shadow is the seed, and the tree and the fruit are all contained in the seed. So the gift of who we are and our divine state of being is all within the shadow. It's a trinity. It's all combined. The darkness, both the prophetic control of the Bene Gesserits, these are in the movie, if you haven't seen the movie, these are described as a super-powered sisterhood that manipulates the religious beliefs of others to maintain control. But beyond that description, they are actually a sisterhood of women who have cultivated their divine feminine powers of psychic intuition, knowing, etc., etc. However, in this storyline, they are portrayed only in their darkness, not in a full balanced expression. And so the darkness is expressed both by the Bene Gesserits and by the completely degenerated system of masculine overt governance and domination of worlds. Both of these dichotomies are happening. And so, in a sense, there's a false truth being represented in this movie that the only way for the feminine to gain control from the masculine is to play the masculine's game of domination, control, hierarchy, etc. But actually, the true dark feminine expresses unity. It expresses wholeness. It expresses balance. It expresses divine knowing and divine seeing and divine hearing, with integrating that into the human fully. But, in the movie, both of these sides, as hard as they're trying to maintain their grips of control, they are really just pieces themselves on a grand chessboard, with life birthing, nurturing, and catalyzing those heroes or heroines, those hero archetypes destined to challenge the system. So this movie is such a prophetic picture of really where humanity is right now in its struggle. This movie is a powerful transmission for humanity in many ways. When you look beyond the surface, attributes of war, domination, colonization, and destruction of natural resources, our inner dark feminine is showing, and it's asking for us to become aware of it. When we pursue the light and repress, ignore, deny, turn away from the dark, we are motivated by fear instead of love, and all of our thoughts, emotions, and actions stem from this foundation. This is the foundation of the world religions, which is why they are falling. Paul Atreides, the main character in this movie, encapsulates the integration of our whole selves. He is from a noble family, the Light, and is genetically designed to potentially be what's called and I don't think I'm pronouncing this right, but it's called the Kwisatz Haderach, which is basically a male Bene Gesserit, said to be a power not yet known in the universe. And so the fear is so great from all sides. The sisterhood, and then the masculine-dominated world leaders that are both vying for power. They both fear this higher expression of power, which really represents unity consciousness. It's the reconciliation. It's the inner hieros gamos of our inner masculine and our inner feminine. So Paul, the character, seeks to serve the light, the side of truth, justice, and freedom, yet within his very genes is the blood of his enemies and the destiny that he was born for. He is the unification of the bloodlines, one that unleashes divine power. So let's dive in. Stepping away from the analogies of this movie, darkness is presenting itself to us, to humanity right now, as an archetype to be better understood. We are beings of the light and the dark. Our light is our divine nature, and our darkness is our human nature. The belief that our human nature is less than our divine nature is a misunderstanding formed through the lens of fear and pain. The belief that humanity is separate from the divine is a perspective birthed to try to explain away our feelings of separation. But the fall of man is really the fall of our whole universe. And man is the alchemical vehicle in which consciousness is evolving through the waves of contraction and expansion of light and dark. You know, Jesus came to demonstrate to us that to be human is to be divine, that death cannot hold us or destroy us, that we are more than just our physical bodies, and that we need not fear our whole nature any longer. To be born is to be in darkness. The seed is planted in the darkness, and there it grows and germinates and receives valuable nutrients, awaiting the light. We are conceived and live for 9 months in the dark wombs of our mother, which is an exact depiction of how all of life is birthed from the womb of Divine Mother. Night is darkness. It is a natural state of stillness, rest, going within, replenishment, quiet, and solitude. Winter is darkness. Darkness is an important state of alchemy that provides the environment and nutrients which allow death to be born into more life. To strive to be a being of the light, to be Christ-like or Buddha-like, or even just a good human, the masters have shown us again and again that in order to radiate and embody our light, we must integrate and accept and love even our darkness. Darkness represents what is not yet known. Light represents what is known. We fear what we do not know because it is our design to do so. Evil and darkness are not the same thing. Darkness represents the unknown. Humanity suffers because it doesn't yet know completely that it can never be separate from the divine or from love. Suffering that is not alchemized into wisdom becomes evil. Evil is separation of self. When we reclaim, accept, acknowledge, and become aware of our own darkness, we are no longer susceptible to these energies. We have integrated them. There's no reason for life to bring these to us any longer because we're done learning from them. Vanquishing evil on the earth is an inside job. The villains of our reality are just characters playing their part according to a divine script and are only here as long as we need them to be. Becoming self-aware is the process of fighting evil. It all happens through the heart. It is not a mind game, although the mind and heart are designed to be in perfect union, where the mind, the masculine principle, serves the feminine, the heart or the emotional principle. Such is the original template for divine union. Each person does and should act according to their own inner guidance and divine authority. But struggling externally with systems, powers, entities, etc., is only as effective as our collective level of consciousness. Every human is being initiated into their own self-mastery, no matter how it looks on the outside, no matter how we perceive or judge someone else's journey. We cannot know the full script of their life. This requires surrendering to the unfolding plan and design of creation, of source, instead of trying to control people into what we perceive as right behavior. It is love that wins the day, and that love is who we already are. It is a state we have never left, but only forgotten. So the path is a path of remembrance, not of achieving or gaining something we don't already have. Understanding this will literally change the world, is changing the world.